In the last year or so, AI has absolutely killed the agency market, specifically in home services. And in this video, I'm going to show you the worst kept secret in all of the industry and why most home service agencies, specifically the ones that are running meta ads for people, are dying and trying to adapt, but they can't because their entire business models are flawed. So I'm going to walk you through what has changed and how AI has put the control back in the home service business owner's hands. And I'm going to show you exactly how we're using AI to run our own home service business ads without paying an agency. So if you don't know me, my name is Steve. I'm the founder of the Home Service Accelerator, where at the time of filming this video, there's been 520 plus home service business owners that have all come into the program, fired their agencies, and started running their own Facebook and Instagram ads profitably. And then I also own 2 home service brands myself, 1 temporary lighting business and 1 landscape permanent lighting business as well. So I'm not only a marketing and sales and operations guy, but I'm also an active home service business owner myself. And I think that's very important because as you guys are watching content on the internet, whether it's YouTube, on X, on Instagram, whatever else, it's really important to vet who you're taking the advice from, because in my experience as a home service business owner, a lot of the marketing people had never run a home service business, and a lot of home service business owners were completely lost when it comes to marketing. And so home service business owners were trusting agencies and other people that have never actually run an actual business, and so the metrics and everything that they're judging performance off of are completely flawed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about what agencies used to do, like in my first and second year of running a home service business, and then what AI has come in and replaced them entirely off of doing. And I'm going to show you guys kind of a side by side for both. And so the first thing I want to talk about is what agencies used to do in 2020 and even before that, and maybe even do a little bit of 2021, was they used to actually target and do A/B testing and all of this with audiences. And so what I mean by this is when you go into the Facebook ad manager and you start setting stuff up, you'll see that Facebook has things like interest targeting, and you can target by behaviors and things like that. But what you see in the targeting platform now when you're setting up a Facebook or Instagram ad is a lot of that stuff is super limited. So let's turn the clocks back to 2020 and even 2021, when I used to be able to target on my own ads rich, right-leaning, conservative Christian people in Paradise Valley, Arizona, which who do you think is a target demo for Christmas light installations? Like, that was a no-brainer. You used to be able to target people by political affiliation, by whether they're an entrepreneur or not, whether they voted a certain way, whether they act a certain way, whether they shopped at certain places, their income levels, like crazy, crazy targeting. All of that, for the most part, is gone. Now, you'll see some certain targeting settings that are still there, but ask anybody who's running meta ads at scale, the targeting is not finding the audience the way it used to because Meta has changed their algorithm. And so what has happened is Meta leveraged artificial intelligence with their algorithm after a lot of the Russia interference and the different iOS changes that you saw in the news a while ago when people had to like opt in to share their data and all of that jazz. That completely threw Meta's old targeting algorithm out of sorts. And so what Meta did, what Facebook and Instagram's ad algorithm did, is they modified it to be where the creative itself finds the audience. And so what the creative is it's the ad itself that you have running. So the video or the photo that the person sees on their feed, and then the text you have written in it. And so what Meta does now is they take behavior, meaning the end user that gets your ad, they have all of the data on them still, but instead of just targeting them by the data that they've found in the past, now Meta finds the people by like-minded people that are interacting with your type of ad. And so what is happening is now the creative and what you say in the ad is going to attract a certain type of person. And so the structure of how you set up the ads matters because the end user is going to watch the ad and see whether it's worth it for themselves to interact with it. And then Meta's going to take on that data set, shove it into their algorithm, and then be like, okay, well, Tim Smith and Tina Smith and, so and so else all have this type of behavior on our platform, and they all also have this in common. So we're going to show these ads to them. And so the best example of this is like when I tell you guys how I run ads, the things that I always do in the beginning of the ads is I call it the location we're targeting first, and then I call out the homeowner and then a specific thing about them because I don't want non-homeowners interacting with the ads. And so what that does is the creative and the algorithm is finding your prospect now for you. And so the emphasis on saying and doing the right things are more important than ever before. Whereas 5 years ago, you could just target willy-nilly and get a $2 cost per lead because you could hone in on such a detailed audience where now you can't. And so your creative has to be better. And so when the creative has to be better, the agencies can't do that for you anymore. And I'm going to go into that a little bit more later on, but let's go to number two. And number two is extremely important for you guys to understand is AI has completely decimated the agency's ability to copyright for you and provide value to you on the copywriting side. And what's so funny is I know that this video is going to be watched by agency owners and it's going to piss them off because to be completely honest with you, I know very well that I could run a multi-million-dollar home service agency with my own skill set, but I can't do it in good conscience because I know that the second I'm running an agency, all I'm going to be doing is using AI to copyright everything for them anyway. So if I'm able to run my own chat GPT scripts and train GPTs a certain way, then why do I need to charge people $1,500, $2,000 a month to do it too when all of you guys can do it yourselves? And so what an agency used to do is they used to A/B test and create a bunch of different ad copy. And so the ad copy is like what they see in the text. It's, it's the actual text above the photo or video. It's the headline. It's everything that the person sees when they're scrolling their feed and they get a sponsored post. And so the copywriting and scripting, the scripting being what you say in the ad, you don't need an agency for anymore because ChatGPT is going to do all this for you. And if you guys want a real free hack, go on the Facebook ad library. You can Google or YouTube a certain way to download those videos. You can take the raw videos. You could do it to my own ads. You can take the raw video, you can throw it into Otter AI and download the text transcript from that video. You could then copy and paste that text transcript into a ChatGPT chat and say, rewrite this script for me for a window cleaning company in Topeka, Kansas. Here's our name. Here's what we do, blah, 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 blah. And ChatGPT will copyright you and write a script identical to what an agency would have done for you in the past. And so if the first thing an agency used to do in number one was they would set up a bunch of targeting and A/B test a bunch of different audiences, that's now gone. And so now we're at number two where they would also, oh, we'll write a bunch of ads for you. We run ads for everybody. We know exactly what to say and what gets people to convert. ChatGPT, they're all using ChatGPT to do that anyway now. So when you sign up for an agency, I promise you, they are all writing copy with AI. And this will piss them all off because I'm airing out all their dirty little secrets. No agency owner is sitting there and typing a unique ad copy script from top to bottom. And they're certainly not scripting what you say in the ads. And so if copywriting is what you actually see on the ad, scripting is what you're saying in the ad. So the things that I've talked about at length on this channel, the call, the location, the who you are, the what you do, the why you're different, expiring value proposition at the end, and call to action. Like they're all doing that same thing. And so now we're 2 for 2 on things that an agency used to be able to provide a ton of value to a business owner for that has been completely displaced by AI. And so if that's the case, then what you'll start to see in this video is I want you guys to start asking yourself, like, why am I paying an agency $1,000 a month for this? $1,500 a month for this? Because 4 years ago, you didn't have time to sit there and write all of these different creatives. You didn't have time to sit there and become Steven Spielberg and direct a bunch of different scripts for your ads. But you don't need to anymore because AI has leveled the playing field and made it instant. And so if that's number two, just wait for number three, and I think it'll really hit home. And number three, what agencies used to do is still image used to perform a lot better. And so video was kind of like a mix-in and not the main focal point. Now it's more like 70-30 video to still image. And so what agencies used to provide you is they used to say like, yeah, and then we'll make you the images for your ads, we'll make you the videos and everything else. But with AI now and the way the algorithm is targeting people a lot differently, the content creation and editing has also been displaced by AI. And so some of you might push back if you're an agency owner here and you're getting your feathers a little bit ruffled, but let's walk through what happens when I sign up with an agency. I go talk to an agency right now and I say, I want you to run ads for my permanent lighting business year round. And they're going to say, great, thank you so much. Here's an onboarding call. And then we're going to give you a bunch of scripts that are all written by AI. And then they're going to say, go out and film these. So if I'm paying $1,000 to $1,500 a month for this service, yet I, as the owner, still have to go out and film the ads, I'm doing the work anyway. And then they go, oh, but we'll edit it for you. Okay. Have you ever heard of CapCut? Have you ever heard of Captions? Have you ever heard of the $40 a video editor on Fiverr who's also using AI? Because guys, spoiler alert, the agency that is cutting up these ads for you and editing them for you is also using AI. They might be using CapCut. They might be using Captions. They might be using Adobe Premiere's AI thing. No one is sitting there dragging and dropping anymore manually. And you're like, oh, the captions, all that jazz. All of that is AI. Every single one of those things is AI. So if you think about the value that an agency used to provide, and number three, there used to be a ton of value in like getting turnkey creative spoon fed to you in your campaigns because the agency provided it all. I can make a still image ad that prints money on ChatGPT in 2 seconds. If you guys want proof, go to the Facebook ad library, type in my business, Valley Christmas Lights. If you're watching this outside of Christmas, it might be taken down because I don't run ads in the off season. But every still image ad that you see on my ad library for my own business, I've created in ChatGPT myself. And so if the agency's not creating content for you, and they're not really editing content for you, because you can either A, do that yourself with very minimal effort, or B, go on Fiverr and pay some dude in Sri Lanka $40 to edit it for you, and probably there's a good chance they do a better job for you. But the thing I really want you guys to ask yourselves is, and this will bring me to my final point, what are you paying for? Like truly ask yourself, what are you paying $1,000 to $2,000 a month to a meta ad agency for in 2025 and 2026 and beyond? Because they're all using the same AI tools that I use to run my own ads, and that 500 plus home service business owners are also using in Home Service Accelerator. And so you have to ask yourself, like, what are you actually paying for? Because I can go back up and say the agency in 2020 used to A/B test a bunch of different audiences to find the winner. Gone. And then in 2020, they used to also copyright and do a bunch of A/B testing on what's converting better on the headlines, what's converting better in the body of the text. Gone. Displaced by AI. None of that value's there anymore. And then number three, oh, but like they edit, they do everything. They're making you go out and film the video yourself anyway. You're still getting up, getting on camera as the owner, everything else. And if you're not doing that, then your ads probably aren't going to convert as well as mine and the other people that run the ads my way, because the thing that sells in this age of 2025 and 2026 and beyond is authenticity of the owner in the ad. This is why you guys like my YouTube channel. This is why you guys like my Instagram, because I'm not shoving a bunch of spoon-fed bullshit down your throat. And you can see that what I'm doing and actively sharing in my business is what I actually preach in all of these videos. And so it's the same thing when you run ads in your own home service business. Is the people, your prospects that want to buy from you, want to know who the human being is that comes out. And so when we talk about how to make an effective ad, I'm saying you got to be logoed up. You got to follow this certain script that shows that you're local in their neighborhood and you're the owner, your director of ops is running the show, you're in front of your branded vehicle, you're showing that we're human beings doing this. Authenticity sells now more than ever before. And so now in the current model, the agency value proposition has been decimated over the last few years, completely wiped out. And so what you're finding is that a lot of agencies are grasping at straws, and their solution for this is they've lowered their prices, tried to bring more people in there because they're not providing enough value. And so then what happens is they're barely looking at your account. And I'm not going to go too much into the weeds, but if you understand the business model of how an agency makes money, you'll understand why if you're paying $500, $1,000 to $1,500 a month for an agency, they cannot be profitable without getting 50 of you or 60 of you. And so then it becomes, how are they staffed? How many hours a week do you think is actually spent watching your campaigns? Because the truth of the matter now is, as my audience has grown, as Home Service Accelerator has grown, as I've documented the growth down to the numbers in all of my home service businesses and showed on Instagram and Twitter or X and through the Home Service Accelerator that my businesses have continued to grow. You see our branded vehicles, you see everything else. Like, I'm actively practicing what I preach, and that authenticity sells. But what's really interesting is the good agencies agree with me. but the good agencies cost $2,000, $2,500, $3,000 a month because that's what they actually have to charge to provide value to you on the implementation side of things. The agencies that are charging $500, $1,000, $1,500 a month are not charging you enough to staff your account enough to offset what you could do on your own with AI, with a VA, and a little bit of editing software. And so what's really funny is when Home Service Accelerator runs ads or you see the YouTube comments here, every home service business owner agrees with me. Every single one of us has had a terrible experience with an agency or a handful, right? And then eventually, and I want to be super transparent about this, eventually your business will get to the size where the agency fee is a drop in the barrel compared to what you're spending on marketing. And so you can go afford a good agency. But the good agencies are $2,000+ a month, if not more. That's $24,000 a year in agency fees. And so this is where the math stops making sense. So let's say you go, okay, I want to hire a $2,000 a month agency. To make that make sense, you probably need to be spending $150 or $200 a day on Facebook ads. Because if you're spending $200 a day on Facebook ads and there's 30 days in a month, you're spending $6,000 over a month on Facebook ads. That means you're actually spending, with a $2,000 agency fee, $8,000 on Facebook ads, right? Because you have a $2,000 agency fee and then you're putting $200 a day times 30 days in a month into the ad machine. So that's $2,000 in agency fee, $6,000 in spend, $8,000 a month. And so if you're not ready to spend $200 a day, or you're maybe closer to spending like $75 a day or $50 a day, what does that math look like? Let's say you want to spend $50 a day. $50 a day times 30 days in a month, you're spending $1,500 a month on ads. But the agency wants to charge you $1,000. That's a huge, substantial chunk of your marketing spend sent to an agency to just click play and use the same AI tools you can use versus you learning how to do it yourself, staffing it properly, understanding a little bit of it, understanding that AI has leveled the playing field for you and the agency owner. And so now the side-by-side math is one guy, company one, is spending $50 a day on meta ads. So $50 a day times 30 days a month, $1,500 a month in meta ads, and then spending $1,000 a month on an agency. And so he's spending $2,500 a month, but what is that? A little bit over, 60 something percent is actually going to ad spend. The other 40 something percent is going to an agency fee versus company two might just spend $70 a day, so $2,100 a month, and have no agency spend. So that person's getting a substantially larger amount of eyeballs on their ads without just dumping money into a sunk cost of an agency that's just running AI ads anyway. And so that's what's happening and is going to continue happening as this goes on. I don't think all agencies are bad. I think that some agencies are good, but they charge a lot to make it make sense now because they're going to be doing a lot more. So my challenge to you is if you have a home service business and you're paying an agency, ask yourself what you're actually paying for and then audit what the agency's actually doing. And then if you find them constantly blaming you for not getting them enough creative, or they're blaming you for not being a fast enough closer or anything else, all of these things are things that you can fix yourself as an owner. And honestly, like, you should fix yourself as an owner. Because the one thing that I don't talk about much that is super valuable when you run your own ads is you also get substantially better as an organization at creating organic content. Because if you get good at creating ads, you also get good at creating content. When you get good at creating content, the flywheel starts happening in both. Go look at my social medias. Go look at my Instagram page. Go look at my business's Instagram pages. Go look at my business's Google review pages. Like, it's not coincidence that as we took control of our ads, all of our other stuff got better too. Because as an organization, authenticity now in 2025 and 2026 is selling more than anything else. And so the more you can get on camera, the more you can actually make that investment into your business, the better off you're going to be compared to all of your competitors that are doing the same stuff that they were doing in 2018, 19, and 20 as they are in 2025, but their results have diminished year over year. So If you guys like this video, please subscribe to the channel, comment to what your favorite part was. And then if you guys want to join the Home Service Accelerator, there's a link in the description. There's a link in the comments. This is what we do. Like, you guys can watch my YouTube videos for free all day long. Watch my Instagram videos, watch my Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, for free all day long. But if you want us to come in and actually show you exactly how to set it up, bar for bar, word for word, AI for AI, every single piece, and we'll help you create the scripts and everything like that for you the first time, record the video so you and your team can have it and build your own SOPs forever, and then not pay $1,000 to $1,500 a month to an agency for the rest of your existence to do something you can do for free. Click the link in the description or in the comments. We'll see you on the other side. Or just please, if you don't want to join Home Service Accelerator, comment, tell me your favorite part of the video, tell me whether you agree with me, disagree with me, and then subscribe and keep watching. Thank you guys so much. See you in the next video.